In a quiet village, there lived a wealthy father and his two sons. Their home was large and peaceful, surrounded by fields, animals, and servants moving about their daily work. The father was known as a kind man. He worked hard, cared for his land, and loved both of his sons deeply. The older son was responsible and steady. He worked in the fields every day, guiding the servants and helping his father. The younger son, however, often stood at the edge of the land, staring down the road that led far away. He dreamed of freedom, adventure, and a life beyond his father's house. One day, the younger son walked boldly toward his father. His voice was firm, but his eyes were restless. "Father," he said, "give me my share of the inheritance." The father looked at his son quietly. There was sadness in his eyes, but also love. Without arguing, the father divided his wealth. He gave the younger son his share. The younger son packed his belongings, tied his money tightly, and left home without looking back. The father stood at the gate, watching his son disappear down the road. The younger son traveled far from home. The land was new and exciting, filled with bright lights, loud music, and crowds of strangers. At first, everything felt perfect. He spent money freely, bought fine clothes, and made many friends. People laughed with him. They celebrated with him. They followed him wherever he went. But as time passed, the money grew smaller. The parties ended, and the friends slowly disappeared. Then a famine struck the land. Food became scarce. Work was very hard to find. The young man found himself alone, hungry, and afraid. At last, he found a job feeding pigs in the fields. His clothes were torn. His hands were dirty. His stomach growled with hunger. As he watched the pigs eat, he wished he could eat their food. But no one gave him anything. One day, sitting in the dirt, the young man finally looked at himself. He remembered his father's house. He whispered to himself, "How many of my father's servants have food to spare, and here I am starving?" Tears filled his eyes. "I will go back," he said. "I will tell my father the truth. I will say, 'Father, I have sinned. I am no longer worthy to be called your son.'" He stood up slowly. He turned toward home. Meanwhile, back at the village, the father walked to the road every day. He scanned the horizon, hoping. Then one morning, he saw a figure in the distance. Thin, dirty, tired. The father recognized him instantly. It was his son. Without hesitation, the father ran. He lifted his robes and ran down the road. The son fell to his knees. "Father," he cried, "I have sinned against heaven and against you. I am not worthy." But the father pulled him into a tight embrace. "Quick, bring the best robe. Put a ring on his finger and sandals on his feet." Music filled the air. Food was prepared. The house came alive with celebration. "My son was lost," the father said, "and now he is found." As the celebration continued, the older son returned from the fields. He heard music and laughter and stopped in confusion. A servant explained what had happened. Anger filled the older son's heart. He refused to enter the house. The father came outside and spoke gently to him. The older son said, "All these years I have worked for you. I obeyed every command. Yet you never celebrated me like this." The father placed a hand on his shoulder. "My son," he said softly, "you're always with me. Everything I have is yours. But your brother was lost, and now he is found." The father's voice was full of love, not only for the son who returned, but for the son who stayed. Jesus told this story to show the heart of God, a God who waits, a God who runs toward the broken, a God who forgives completely. No matter how far someone has gone, no matter how broken they feel, God is always ready to welcome them home. The story reminds us of a powerful truth. God always welcomes those who repent.